Did it work? It worked. It's working. I think it's working. I'm pretty sure it's working.
Okay.
It was working this morning, so I don't see why it's not working now.
Twice.
It did work twice, at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. 2 times this worked, and so hopefully it's working now at 1:30 p.m. And I think it is.
Hopefully.
I don't have anything saying it's not. So we must be on. I hope everybody snuck into the parking lot, hid behind the giant SUVs. All right, walking softly up to the gates. As we tell the security guard this week, Pamela helped me. And they left the door open. And here's why. Katie McLean is a goddess.
Yeah.
And there is just something so special about seeing her on this show. Because she's not there a lot.
No.
But she comes in and it's like, you know in sitcoms, when like a celebrity were to come in, oh, it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? At the doorway.
Oh, sure.
And then people would woo and cheer and clap and scream.
It was on Friends.
Well, that was even before. Well, yeah, because he was famous then. Because he was dating Jennifer Aniston at the time. But the audience goes nuts. They cheer, they whoop, they holler, they clap. And then they calm down and we move on. That's cool, all right? That's the style, all right, of Katie McLean on this show.
Yeah.
She comes in and I'm ready as an audience member to just be like, woo! She does her bit and moves on. I love it. I love it. Jeannie is sneaking in with us. Liz as well. So is Rochelle. Hi. Shh. Pamela helped me.
Not help me, Rhonda. It's help me, Pamela.
Help me, Pamela. Help me, Pamela. Help me,
Help
Pamela.
me, Pamela.
Maybe we're gonna get to that
Pamela, yeah.
in the musical episode of Beyond the Gates.
Get her out of my heart.
Get me out of this house. Oh goodness. Dani calls Pamela this week. Oh, Pamela, I need your help. Boy, did I make a big oopsie doodle.
Yeah.
It's great to see our vets show up on the new soap, says Jeannie, and it's true. It's true. It's true. We could just a sprinkle. We got some famous TV actors in there. A little sprinkling of soap veterans. And we're already doing soap tropes. Okay, we had a wedding. We had a gun on a wedding. We've had adulteries. We've had affairs. We've had break-ins. We've had destruction of personal property.
I really thought that little Dani was going to get caught.
She almost did.
I thought Bill and Haley were going to bust her.
She didn't get caught enough to get arrested.
And
But she got caught.
screaming at Dani and Pamela. Y'all better hurry up. Y'all better hurry up.
Hurry. Move on. But she didn't get totally scot-free, all right? She didn't. There's not enough to arrest her with. But there's enough for Haley to go ahead and break a modeling photo and, just get real specific with it after that. I know it was you. Stay out of our house. Just leave us alone. Move on with your life, Dani. She ain't. She's not going to do that. Come on. She looks so good with red hair, says Rochelle.
Oh, Pamela?
Yeah. Katie.
Katie looks good with. Yeah, I think she looks pretty good too. She always be Dixie Cooney for me though.
Well, she looks so good with red hair, like she had at the beginning of All My Children when she was Dixie. I guess Dixie started as a redhead.
Yeah.
I've only known her as a blonde.
Well, I don't remember her being a redhead, but I sure remember her being Dixie Cooney, and I loved watching her, and I loved her relationship with Tad. I loved it.
I mean, the reason I like Dixie so much
And they
is...
had a little girl named Kathy.
Oh. The reason I like Dixie so much is because I like Tad, and so I had to like Dixie. I don't know anything about a kid. I think, didn't they have Jamie together?
No, he had Jamie with with Brooke.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if do they have kids? I don't even know.
I thought that he and Dixie had Kathy.
I don't know.
Or maybe he had Kathy with Crystal. It's been a while.
I don't know. I don't know. But Sandra agrees that they're soapifying quickly. All right. And I was leading up to a point. I was. We've had the wedding. We've had the destruction of personal property, break-ins. We have a heart torn in two. Do I like Andre or do I like Derek? We've got good partners. We've got bad partners. We've got the good guys. We've got the bad guys, and we've got the good guy who's being painted as bad guy. I guess. I mean that's what I've decided when it comes to Ted. Uh, all the way up to already we're having a soap recast.
You guys, did you all know that?
This is 3 weeks deep, and we're having a soap opera recast.
Yeah. I hope y'all didn't fall in love with Ted.
Well, Ted ain't going anywhere,
Well, no.
but the actor who plays him is getting switched.
He sure is.
Don't come here for the news. We don't know why. This thing is 3 weeks deep. One of the two parties, either the show or the actor, decided it wasn't working for them. Whether it was the show saying it's not quite what we wanted, or whether it's the dude saying, "Oh boy, is this a lot more work than I thought."
Yeah.
Something is not working, and so they made a change.
And he hasn't out of the son-in-laws. Son-in-laws. Bill's had a lot more screen time than Ted has.
Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. I just can't. I just can't when we Bill and Ted. I just can't. I just can't. And I don't know if they realized it, but they should have.
I cannot believe they didn't realize it. And I cannot believe that if they didn't realize it on their own, that someone didn't bring it up immediately.
Then they knew. They knew what they were getting into.
Too.
But no, so Ted's getting recast. So Maurice Johnson is the guy that we know is playing Ted now, but he's getting switched out, Mama. He's getting swapped by a man named Keith D. Robinson, and I'm going to go ahead and show you a picture. Just
I'm interested. I have not seen this
right
picture,
now.
guys. I'm watching it for the first time with you.
Well, this is him. This is
And
the
you're
guy.
Matthew Armstrong? That's hilarious. Oh, look at him. He's looking kind of fine.
I'm rich and powerful. All right.
I wonder if
My
that's
name
an
is
old
Matthew
photo. He
Armstrong.
looks way younger than.
I have no clue. This is just something this is the soapopera.network.com headliner, I guess, for the article that they posted about it. So this is the guy. This is the new Ted. Everybody get used to it. Everybody learn the face of the man that we just saw there. The new Ted.
And since they're not very far ahead in episodes, we'll see it somewhat quickly.
Yeah, within the next couple of weeks, we'll have a brand new Ted. Absolutely. Sandra suggests, or possibly not wanting to remain in Atlanta. Maybe they joined this thing saying it'll never work. I don't know. Because the people out there, they're surprised. Even the chat's like, really? Jeannie out there going, really? Over Derek? So yeah, I mean,
I'm surprised too.
so
I think so. Are you, right, Matt?
to have it happen so quickly,
Yeah, just 3 weeks in.
totally surprising to me. But also, it's still a soap opera and continues to prove that it is a soap. as much as everybody, I don't know. I don't want to say everybody, but I don't really know what the major expectation was from people who were like, this is going to change the landscape of soap operas forever. It's going to be a new style, a new look at it, a new way of doing things, and it's not.
Not really.
No, it's the same soap. I think that it's a little dirtier than the other ones in the language.
Yeah.
Like Eva being like, oh yeah, you can get me off Tomas twice.
Yeah, multiple
times.
Multiple times.
Right. And then there's
Oh man, that was pretty good script. That was pretty good script writing there.
it's good
I
script
thought
writing,
so.
but it's definitely dirtier.
Oh,
Than
yeah?
the normal language we get on daytime. On top of that, too, with like Martin worrying about Samantha dating those horny little bastards.
Yes. Yes, that was surprising too.
Right. So some of the language we get on it, it's more like what I would expect Days of Our Lives to have moved to when they went to streaming. But they didn't.
I'm sure that some of you wouldn't realize. I'm sure I edit myself for y'all because it's the right thing to do. I'm a cusser though. So.
YouTube standards and practices. Now we could probably
Yeah.
cuss more than we want to. The reason why I don't go on a swear-ridden tirade most of the time is because I don't know if you're listening to this in the car dropping your kid off at school.
Yes, we've always wanted to. We don't want to be like. We don't want anybody to like, oh, rush passionately turn it down or something.
Yeah, we don't want
We don't
that.
want that.
And plus, I didn't flag or mark anything as adult oriented or explicit either. So,
Yes.
because I don't want that, and we're not. I don't think we are. If we are, let me know. I agree. Derek is actor D Trey. Derek is a little lackluster for me. I don't know what D Trey means, but Derek is a little lackluster. I guess people aren't feeling Derek.
I'm not either.
I mean, I think most people aren't. I think that of the cast that they have, we can peg him as one of the weaker. But also at the same time, Derek and Ashley as a pair, as a couple, as characters that are on this show, I find the least interest in.
Me too.
And I don't know
I'm
what
the
that
least
is or why
invested.
that is, but it just maybe because I don't care about them together.
I don't either.
We got a lot more. We have a lot more point of view when it comes to like how Andre feels about Dani, which we all know isn't going to work out.
Of course not.
But I don't know. I guess it's just a little more engaging to see than him falling for the nurse.
Well, I think he's somewhat of a player. He likes a conquest. That's what I'm thinking about. Andre. He likes a conquest. It seems to me. It seems to me. A little bit of a player likes a conquest. And maybe that's why he's interested in Ashley because she seems like forbidden fruit.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
No, I am not invested in Derek and Ashley at all. I'm not. I find Derek a little lackluster.
Well, maybe they'll figure it out, or they won't.
Yeah, I'm just not crazy about the duo. I'm not.
I mean, they're so far on like the edges of the stories anyway. Like everybody else is so connected, whether or not they're working together or they're family or they're married into the same family together or something like that. The connections between everybody are a lot stronger than what we're getting with Derek and Ashley.
I am more interested in Ashley's relationship with Eva's mother than I am interested in her relationship with her boyfriend husband.
Well, maybe there's more room for Ashley on the show than Derek. Maybe Derek is going to be like the first character or the character that they have on the candidates right now that they don't have a long-term plan for. Maybe he's the one that's meant to do something so wrong or reach out in a way that pushes that character away from the show. It's possible. It's possible because I think that the attempt, and this is me speculating. I've never talked to these people except for Fido, but my speculation is that they put together this show to make it feel like it's been on for 30 years.
I could see that.
I get that sense. Like it just the history is so rich, and we've really been plopped into the middle of something that conceivably we could have been watching up to this point.
I
The
can see that.
affair and
Yeah, 'cause
the relationship of these two people coming together, but he's abusive. The problem the secret, that Marty Martin is holding. We would have seen what that is, and how it's affecting him and his relationships with his husband and his kids now.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't feel like a beginning. It feels like a drop in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's totally purposeful, and interesting. I like it. And but then also, so we get into like, well, Derek might be the first character to leave the show because of the plot. Feels more earned than if we were to just cut somebody we just met. I don't know. It's an interesting way of trying to like put that thought and feeling into actual language and words and explain what that means when you feel it when you're watching. I think time goes on, the flashy stuff will ease up, says Jeannie, and that's probably true. We'll get into a rhythm that isn't just so hyped, because you can't leave your audience expecting big stuff to be happening every other day.
No.
You can't maintain
Eventually,
that.
they will indeed have filler episodes as well.
Yeah. Hey, Aisha, thank you very much for subscribing. Just got a live subscriber now. Thank you so much. So, it's fun. I like it. The end. Goodbye. No, I'm kidding. There's so much more to talk about. We got 3 episodes. 2 episodes were preempted because of basketball this week.
I was grateful because I was trying to
So you're
cram
on
15
vacation.
hours of soap operas into 24.
So, yeah, it's basically every waking hour on Saturday.
Yeah, ever since I got home and
Yeah.
I've been had my peepers open, I've been watching soaps up until 15 minutes ago.
It's true. It's true. Rochelle says Keith Robinson, who's the new Ted, he's awesome. She says he was in Hairspray, not the movie version, but he's like a Broadway darling. He sings, and everything that he does is awesome. He's a little short, but he's awesome.
Wow, maybe
telling you.
maybe Anita will revive her career. They talked about Anita singing quite a bit in those 3 days.
I'm waiting for the Beyond the Gates musical.
Me too.
Just to have the musical episode.
I think they should really, like at a party or something, they should ask Anita to do a song.
Just somebody who wheels out a karaoke machine, just a speaker and a microphone.
Plays piano, she don't need it.
No. Wheel out that karaoke machine. Give her the microphone, single cable, go straight into it. Battery operated.
We didn't talk about this before, but do you remember the scene where the family got up and danced together and stuff?
Well, yes, of course. It's always super fun.
I loved it.
And it's always great to have, because there's drama. It's always great to see the reasons why the family also is like still together. Like why they get the moments that outshine the trouble or the drama or the stress or the strain, like the reasons why we're still living in this house and forging forward. It's because of some of the fun stuff, dancing together as a family.
But it's interesting, like on the last episode, Wednesday's episode, where Anita and Vernon tell their love story once again to the kids. Once again, tells their big love story of how they met and how they were so kismet and everything. There's got to be some cracks underneath that. There's got to be.
See, okay, so I'm in trouble with Rochelle because Keith D. Robinson was actually in the movie version of Hairspray. I jumped out on a limb, and I assumed that he played Seaweed on Broadway or something. No, I think he was one of the kids, one of the dancing kids.
One of the kids, huh?
One of the dancing kids on the
Yes. What was the character's name in Hairspray? The young girl. She was only like 12.
Inez.
Yes.
Inez, she wound up in at the end of the movie version, the movie version, not the original movie version that wasn't a musical, but the second movie version that is a musical based on the Broadway play. Inez walks away as Little Miss. I don't remember. I don't remember.
Either.
Little Miss something. The best dancer, and now the Corny Collins show is now and forever officially integrated. Yay!
Dancers on there. He probably was.
One moment.
One of the young teens on there.
One of the teens, the Vicky, Jessie, Maureen, Doreen.
Yes,
And
yes.
Link. And apparently he was also in Dreamgirls, the movie version with Beyonce. So, boom. Excellent work.
There you go.
Keith D.
I
Robinson.
wonder if he's going to be used to that fast pace of soap opera.
Rochelle, I'm so confused because the Keith Robinson did not play Seaweed in the movie version. That was Elijah Kelly. So maybe we're thinking of the same thing but differently.
Maybe.
But it's totally reminded me of one of my favorite musicals. So thank you.
When a long time ago, I bought tickets to Hairspray and took Matthew to the.
Yeah, we saw a version. I saw one with my sister too. I've seen that movie. I've seen that play and that movie several times over. So I can say with certainty that Keith D. Robinson did not play Seaweed in the movie version, and that was most definitely Elijah Kelly. But past that, I really have no idea what Keith D. Robinson has done, and everything else that you say to me beyond playing Seaweed in the movie version of Hairspray, I will say, yeah, totally. Can't you tell I'm a musical theater kid, says Rochelle? I can tell, and that's wonderful. We'll have to talk about musicals one day, because there's a lot of seasons of love out there. There's a lot of minutes in a year, So, and nightly I defy gravity. I actually float above my bed when I'm sleeping. It's very comfortable. You know how people are like, oh, it's like sleeping on air, sleeping on a cloud. I literally do that. It might be because I'm possessed by a demon, but I float above my mattress every night.
I think he dreams about it at least.
I dream about being possessed by a demon. I absolutely do.
Floating above the
I
bed.
totally think that it would be a dream come true if I were to be possessed by a demon.
Silly.
That's not
Silly,
going to happen.
silly, silly.
I'd like to be possessed by like the spirit of somebody really cool. That'd be really awesome.
Did you notice that Haley already is not digging Bill 100%?
At the end of the week, she was like, maybe we should just like not do this, Bill.
Gives her a bobble,
I kind of
talks her into it.
Yeah, right. I kind of feel like maybe this just isn't worth it, Mr. Bill. You know?
Oh, Mr. Bill,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, people are laughing. I don't know what
and
they're laughing
Haley,
at.
I don't know what this girl thinks is going to happen. I don't know what she thinks is going to
I
happen, but
think
she goes to the
she got
country.
caught up. She got caught up, Ma. This is totally it. This is totally it. I think that we're supposed to really like Haley.
I kind of do.
I think we're supposed to really like her. We're supposed to admire her strength. We're supposed to want a good future for her. We're going to want her to get over these things. We're going to want her to be separated from Bill so she could be free to live her independent life that she deserves. I think that's where they're trying to position us as audience members. And I know I
Yes.
approach this show from a really nerdy, like artistically standpoint and trying to break it apart and stuff. That's just because it's new. It's what I have to think about when I'm watching it. But I think that's what we're supposed to be at, and we're supposed to really want her to like find her footing and stand up to Bill, and as he continues to dominate her, and as he continues to try to push her in the direction of his plans, his ideas, how he's going to take down Fairmont Crest, which
Yeah.
isn't necessarily what she wants. She just wants to have breakfast at the damn table.
She wants his acceptance.
Yeah, she was like, oh wow, I was marrying into the elite. And not in from a, ooh, wow, look at me. Now I'm so fancy and now I'm going to be famous and rich. But from like this is the echelon, like a life that I had been watching. I've been on the cusp of, now I'm marrying into it. This is going to be me now having breakfast with the girls. And it's not
Yeah.
turning out that way.
So she goes to the country club. There she is sitting, and she has to listen to those damn Duprees have a giggle and have a good time right there in the same room. And she can't even get anybody to come up and ask her if she wants coffee, water, or
No,
tea.
no, because Dani has a lot of pull. Dani's like, ignore that one. She's a member,
And
but she's not.
I think she's too young to realize that no, if she would have wanted that, she, like they said from the beginning, there are other gated communities that you could buy into and everybody would accept you.
She wanted to, she was inspired by and admired the women around her. I truly feel that. I do. I do. And it's quality to the acting and the writing, for sure, because I'm able to pull that away from her just from 2.5 weeks of watching her and watching her interact with these people and interact with Bill, who is just a piece of work. My God.
Didn't he?
And then he also works with people who are pieces of work.
Yes, yeah, we have found out this 3 days. Yes, there is somebody there. Well, they showed him.
Yeah, yeah. His name was,
He was
I
he
wrote
was
it
a
down.
dirty little thing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, not a
Bill.
dirty little thing. He was a
Not
dirty
Bill.
old man, sucker full.
I didn't write down his name. I should have. But he's an inappropriate flirt.
He is an inappropriate flirt, yes, and he makes you feel uncomfortable
Very
immediately.
much so. And now this is breaking into either a story that I had been paying attention to or just kind of was revealed this week, which is Naomi maybe handling a lawsuit against Bill and his partner. And if they talked about this in big ways before and I just missed it, I'm sorry.
I don't think they did actually.
Because it seemed newer to me.
But yes, those folks are trying to influence her to have a case against her own father.
Right.
And since she is so
Mike.
angry at her father right now, she's considering it.
She's considering it. Well, maybe I need to go stick it to that old jerk. Even though he's my dad.
Even though he's my dad.
Because it's
Well,
not really against him, it's against one of his business partners. And it'll affect his business, sure, but my dad will be fine. He's my dad.
well, his dad should have noticed his inappropriateness and,
Oh, he
and
knows.
something about it already anyway.
He knows. It's just in that rich echelon where you're just like, all right, now just keep it clean, though. Okay, don't get caught. Don't make this ugly for us.
Right.
So I mean, but then Bill's the type of guy too, where this comes down. There's a lawsuit now against Mike, and then it doesn't matter if we've been working together for 30 years. My daughter says you're bad. You gotta
And
go.
and he would probably think, "Oh, I can score some daddy points with Naomi right now
And which would
because
be
she's
good.
so angry at me right now."
Right. And of
He
course
could
he would
he
want
could
that.
score some big
I
daddy
mean,
points if he did something about this before they
I
even
mean,
had to sue them.
I get a sense that Bill cares about his kids.
Sure, he does. I
You
think
know,
so.
it's not one of those like, yeah, well, you're just my, I feel as though there would be especially like a rich and powerful dude and his daughters. Like I just feel like there would be some Adam Chandler in there
Yeah.
somewhere. When it comes to loyalty to my blood, not necessarily to Danny, but my kids, absolutely. I could see it. I could see it. So
I think
maybe.
he genuinely cares what those two girls think about him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. What
what
do you
kind
guys think in the chat? Let us know. I'm
yeah.
I'm deathly curious to know what the chats are, specifically our chat, because I like you guys so much. I'm really curious to know what you think about all these people and how they get along and your speculations about their relationships and what the future might hold. Plus, it'll help us fill this content of the podcast.
And just like with our other two shows, it's Matt Cat in the chat.
Oh, absolutely. We all rhyme together, so please contribute. How about this? He gets rid of Mike, and then Mike gets disgruntled and spills a bunch of secrets and dirty dealings about Bill, suggests Rochelle.
Ooh, that's
That
pretty
is good. I like that one. I like where your head's
I
at with
like that too.
because now he's got like enemies on two fronts. He's like, I gotta beat back Danny, or maybe I just need to placate Danny. Maybe I just need to kiss her. You know,
Or send her bottles of vodka.
send her drinks because she loves them.
I think that's soon on the skate. Danny is going to have a real drinking problem.
She already has a real drinking problem. What she's going to have is a problem from the drinking problem.
Yeah, but I think Danny is, my gosh, when she was drinking on Wednesday and drank nearly that whole bottle of vodka and then passed out on the kitchen floor. I was talking to the TV like I often do. Damn, girl, you're going to get alcohol poisoning. You better stop. You're going
needs
to
to calm
have some
down.
alcohol poisoning.
Like Andre's going to have to do some bloodletting or something.
Yeah, she's going to wind up in the hospital with an IV.
The saline drip.
Yeah,
trying to
because that will take. Yeah, that's if you do overdo it and you wind up in the hospital. That's the first thing they do is just stick you with some water.
Oh yeah, we gotta hydrate you. All right, let's dilute some of this alcohol in your
Wash
bloodstream,
this
huh?
alcohol out.
Didn't they plant a seed during the first couple of episodes between Bill and Vernon? Yeah, probably. But I guess we really like launched into Bill's partners is just a horrible person.
He's a dirtbag.
He's a dirtbag. Specifically, why there's a brewing lawsuit. I think we got all of those details this week when we didn't have that level of detail before.
Right.
But the first couple of weeks were just filled with all sorts of stuff that could be something down the line. Some of it was really obvious, like you can't run for president because of your secret. All the way down to Bill and Vernon had mentioned a brewing problem within Bill's company. Like every little thing has been in there. And who knows what little throwaway line here or there could have been a clue to something down the line. Because that's a lot of fun to do as a writer, especially when you're getting started with something new and you kind of know where it's going and it hasn't lost its track and you haven't had to come up with something, well, what's next? And you really know where things are going in the next 12 months. It's so fun as a writer to sprinkle in these things that you see, that it's going to lead into something because you're really excited that there's going to be an eagle-eyed viewer or somebody out there paying enough attention or seeing the revelation down the line and then going back to watch the build-up and seeing these clues. It's like watching Lost for the second time.
Planting seeds, huh?
Planting little seeds, and then what can that grow from there, and who in the audience is going to pick up on what it is that I'm laying down. Because a writer doesn't want the audience to not understand or get it or know the depth of what it is that they're going for. They want the person and the reader or the viewer or the recipient to fully understand their vision and be totally on board with all of these little details that are leading up to the big revelation. So, exciting.
Writers think that way.
Yeah.
Even though it's not written by them, directors think that way too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just how they're staging things.
Oh, yeah.
They're planting seeds as well.
Yeah, so the writers are planting down the plot, they're planting down the words, and then the directors and the editors are really the ones that are turning it into a visual. Where
Yeah.
does this music cue come in? How does this person linger their look? All sorts of little things in order to drive these stories forward.
Mm-hmm.
To a point where if you're a big soap fan like us out here on 10th Floor Podcast channel, during
Mm-hmm.
Beyond the Gates Unlocked and other podcasts that you can get all Sunday, um, all of that, I had a point. And then I turned it into an ad and I forgot what my point was. But my
Don't
point
ask
was
me.
good and it was wise and it was well thought out and it was so smart and it was totally correct. And it was articulate and stuff.
I like what we were saying. The seed being planted, I think, is a group effort.
Oh yes, it's everybody. It's
Yeah,
everybody. It's
it's
everybody.
everybody.
Another delicious character that I love is Dana. Is Dana right? Is that another voice to text? I don't remember it. Dana. He was mother was off the rocker, or is she? Oh boy, we need to fix that question. Okay. Let's refocus, Ma. Let's refocus. Chelsea's quitting modeling, or she's quit being a model.
Yeah, and since Danny's now, doesn't have a Bill to constantly look at, she's really starting to think about Chelsea's career more. And I think Danny doesn't really need Chelsea. She can jump back into that herself.
No. Hi, Dad. He just walked by.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Danny's modeling career is over.
Danny's? Or
I think Danny could,
oh, she could
okay,
slide right back into it. Naomi Campbell,
exactly.
right?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a. But she could have a show. She could do the Tyra, where she's not maybe necessarily walking down the runway anymore, but she's famous and known for being a model. She was excited about some sort of Ebony magazine spread, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that came up this week.
Yep.
She could still do it. She what she could do is she could start a product line, deception style.
Yeah.
I don't know what would be appropriate for Beyond the Gates if it's some sort of other angle or something, because we're in a gated community, we're at a country club, we have politicians, we have people that are known, there's news reports going out about these people all the time, they're trying to control their public image, so there's a lot of different angles and avenues that are in this show that you're not getting from the other soaps. So you don't necessarily need to do like the Dani starts a makeup line thing that all the other soaps would do, because they've had their enchantments and their deceptions and their this, their that.
Sure.
What is basic black is the clothing line, right? That
Right.
that Brady owns. It just happens.
Yes.
He just happens to be real stylish, I guess. So I don't know what's necessarily appropriate in the world of Beyond the Gates, but to have Dani have some sort of something where she is her own spokesmodel. Oh yeah, oh yeah, and then she can be all arrogant and like I'm such a star and nobody's ever forgotten me, and it just opens up doors of story beyond this Bill thing.
And I never did need Bill.
And I never did need Bill. I could have done it on my own. I didn't need some lawyer paving the way or greasing the skids, shaking the hands.
Yep. Yep.
Rochelle met Eva's mother, and it is voice to text. That's what I thought. Yes, Eva's mother, Leslie
Leslie.
Sherry Leslie.
Sherry Leslie.
Is absolutely flippin' nuts. She is the soap and nuts character. She is the crazy one that will go too far for anything and everything.
And Eva's already, so Leslie's all concerned about how I got exited out of that party, got my waiter's apron taken away from me. But Eva was the one that actually said, get rid of her.
Totally. Because she, listen, Ma, I know you can get in the way. I don't want you to be in the way right now. I'm making headway, all right? I'm not getting along with Kat.
Right.
I'm not getting along with Kat and all, but everybody else, I think it's pretty cool.
They do.
Things are pretty cool. I'm eventually going to get this Ted guy to admit that he slept with you at one point, okay?
Yeah.
Except...
And I don't think Eva's comfortable, so now she's kind of convinced Ted and Nicole that they should have a party. And she's going to help plan it.
Yeah.
And of course, Ted says, well, you did such a great job with the award ceremony. Why shouldn't we let her help us?
Yes.
This will be great. This will be great fun. And I don't think Eva is on board because she's falling in love with these people.
Yes.
I don't think Eva's going to be on board with, and the point of the whole party is Leslie wants to blow him out of the water publicly at this
Yes,
party.
yes, yes. Oh, this is an opportunity. Yes, we're going to throw a Bill centric party. We're going to put a slideshow of him at his worst. We're going to get there with microphones and talk about how he ignored you your whole life. It's going to be perfect. The big revelation. No, no. Even if Eva plays along with her mom and tries to push things in that direction because she gets convinced and feels guilty about it and all that nonsense, Bill will have some sort of thing that he says without realizing it. Some sort of advice, some sort of thing, some sort of something that makes Eva go, I can't do this.
Right.
And
And
then,
I think she's going to be on board to the last minute and turn on a dime because of something you suggested that he's going to just say something, do something that's just going to go. She's suddenly going to feel like she needs to protect her father.
yeah, I can't. This is wrong.
This is
Or
wrong. We don't deserve this.
maybe even Leslie just has the wrong angle on something. Something happened in the past that she's massively misinterpreted because she's nuts. But it was actually something 180 degrees different.
And wouldn't it be crazy if Ted doesn't even turn out to be Eva's dad?
I mean, I think that's likely. I think that's likely. And then we have a fun like Jada Abe or something, you know, where there's or Nicole Abe or something where there's just like, hey, you're my
Mhm.
daughter anyway, even though you're not.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
where we
yeah,
can
yeah.
get down the line.
Yep, yep.
But yeah, I see. I don't see Eva, you know, getting rid of Leslie out of her life entirely. She's always going to be a problem for Eva.
Uh-huh.
But the whatever rose-colored glasses or innocence that she still has about her in regard to her mom is being removed in this story,
Yeah.
and she's going to
And
really
Leslie
see her
can
mom for what
only
she really
blame
is.
herself for that.
Yeah,
But she's gone way over top, way too quick.
too much, too fast,
Hmm.
and maybe probably completely wrong about everything while she's doing it.
Yeah.
You know, just
Could very
wrong on
well
the
be.
details. Wrong on
Could
the
very well
details.
be.
But then I don't. Yeah, because Eva really is
I
getting
don't
sucked
think
in.
that I don't think that Ted knows that there's an Eva. I don't.
I don't think so. Even if he did father a child with Leslie, he doesn't know. Like
I don't
Leslie
think he
Leslie is
does.
wrong, lying or wrong about Ted.
Yeah.
I just don't see Ted as the bad guy. And I don't see us being. I don't see them doing a flip, a twist. Oh, he actually was the bad guy. I don't see that happening.
I don't see that either. I think Leslie feels jilted because I think the worst he did to her was no longer be interested.
I think that her calling herself the surrogate is our big clue that Ted rejected her and she took his stuff and had a baby.
That could very well happen because a lot of times, I think a lot of times when, especially folks in, in the medical field and people in college in general, they do that kind of stuff to make ends meet. It's kind of like, are you going to sell your this stuff, or you're going to sell plasma, or maybe you're going to sell both
Maybe,
to get
maybe,
through it.
yeah, yeah. So I think. Do you see a weird chemistry between Ted and Eva that's not parent and child, but maybe something else? I don't. But I'm also not watching
I
every
see him being
single
bothered.
second. You know, I can't admit to not being distracted on occasion while the show is on. So I'm not getting that sense. It doesn't seem like Ma's getting that sense, but I'm not here to tell you you're wrong.
Nope.
If you're getting that sense, maybe you're cluing in on something that we're not.
Hmm.
But no, I just don't get the feeling that we're gonna get a surprise twist like he's actually into Eva or he's the
Yeah,
bad guy and Leslie's been right this whole time. I
I
don't
don't
think
think
that they're
so.
setting us up for that. I think we're setting up Leslie to be an ongoing antagonist and big problem for everybody
Hmm.
because she's
Hmm.
gonna be crazy. She's the crazy one. She's the one that'll hurt you, that'll kidnap you, that'll try to stick you with amnesia juice.
Something like that.
I
Exactly.
don't know, Ma. Because like I also don't get the sense that the show is going to go to the amnesia juice route either. I think they're going to keep it a little more grounded.
I think so too. But I think there's no way any of those relationships are perfect. And they've so far tried to show us that Nicole and Ted are perfect, and
Mm-hmm.
Vernon and Anita are perfect. And
Right.
their relationship has been just such loving bliss the entire time. Well, maybe it has been on the outside, but there's got to be something. Nobody stays married that long, even in total happiness without some garbage happening in your past.
Oh, there's definitely garbage, just not big
There
enough
gotta be.
for it to be a problem. Vernon, I see Vernon and Anita as a couple who genuinely loves, trusts, and belong together. It's a power couple. They've really like helped each other achieve the status in the life that they've been after. He legitimizes her as a politician. She legitimizes him as a politician. He legitimizes her as important. I don't know exactly what word to use. Uh,
I see Anita as, I don't think that she's been working this entire time. I don't think that. But I see her as a mover and a shaker within the community, that she's been into a lot of community service,
yeah.
fundraising, that kind of role in the
The
community.
Michelle Obama, right? And
Yes.
I also think that there's big potential out there for Anita to be more power hungry and more aggressive about things than Vernon really is. And she's the one
Mhm.
that kind of pushes him to use his status and use this and use that in order to benefit whatever it is that they're trying to benefit. I see
I do
those
see
things.
Anita though as a very much a protector. I
Yeah.
think her and Vernon both together.
And since we're dealing with like the politics, then we we can liken things to like scandal. How far into the depths of political manipulations are they willing to go through to maintain, achieve, and exceed their current power? I think that or maybe I just want that. Maybe I just think it's more interesting. I don't know if I've necessarily picked up a clue from the show or if it's just something that I would be interested in. But I
Hmm.
think Anita being a little bit more thirsty uh, for everything than Vernon is would be really interesting.
Hmm.
But I also see them as any trouble that they've had, they've gotten over it. And they're
Yes.
also the age of that soap. You know how we always say, well, when you have grandkids, which isn't 100% accurate, but you know
Hmm.
what I mean. You reach a
Hmm.
particular age bracket in
Sure.
which the cheating on each other and the lying and the deception and the divorce and the will, they will,
They're
that, blah, blah, blah,
actually
blah.
even they're actually even great grandparents, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's a lot of,
Martin,
yes.
Martin Smitty
Because
would make
Martin's the
them great
grandkid. Yeah,
grandparents.
there you go. And Tyrell and Samantha? I
Yeah, I
wrote
don't
it
remember.
down. Yes, Tyrell and Samantha are not young.
Yeah, they're
They're
teenagers.
teenagers, and I think that they've been like raised since babies by the two.
That's
It's
the
not like
impression I
it's not
get.
like a foster thing. It was a actual adoption.
Yeah, it seems like Smitty and Martin adopted these children together as
Yes,
little babies.
as little babies are potentially they're the same age. Maybe one's a little younger. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, they do not look
High
like.
school age to teenagers.
Yeah, one's a sophomore, one's a senior.
Something like that, right?
Hmm.
Samantha's
Yeah.
not able to date, and Tyrell is having trouble with math. We spent very little time on that. I don't know exactly what that's meant to serve. If it's to ask a question about what's going on in Tyrell's life, because
Hmm.
I'm not. I'm just let's look at math. Like okay, but why? Is there? Would be my question past that.
Well, I think maybe they were just trying to show family dynamics.
Or the other option is to just show a little bit of family dynamics of how Martin just continues to not treat everybody with total respect,
Right.
including his
I think
kids.
he's all that great with Smitty.
He's definitely not all that great with Smitty. What I get from this storyline, the sense that I get, what I feel as though the direction we're going to with this is the secret changed Martin. Revealing the secret will change him back.
Yeah. That crap's giving him nightmares.
It's giving him nightmares. It's causing him to lash out and react. He's a little bit quicker to anger. He's a little bit ruder. He's a little more expectant. He's a little more controlling of the people that he loves.
Hmm. Hmm. He's no grouchy thing too
because
sometimes.
because of and then a natural sour demeanor is then enhanced by
Hmm.
whatever it might be, but I think that we're not I don't think that Martin is necessarily supposed to be the ongoing bad guy villain who's going to continue to make the wrong choices each and every time. Da, 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 da. I think that he's
Right.
somebody that's suffering deeply and we don't know why yet.
But his grandparents know
His
why.
grandparents know, yes, but whatever this is going to affect them or the entire Duprees in some way that is
And
going to
I
be
don't
detrimental to the family as a whole.
and I don't get the impression that Nicole and Ted know what it is.
I don't, maybe not
Doesn't seem like their
necessarily.
parents know. His grandparents know, but it seems like his parents don't.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. And now that you mentioned that Ted is Martin's dad, yeah, that dude looks kind of young, doesn't he?
He does.
Chandra showed up, but then she saw Derek, the security guard, and left. So sorry, we weren't able to tell Chandra what the secret code was this week. But thanks for popping by,
Oh,
Chandra. Chandra's dealing with some family stuff today, so keep Coach Chandra and her loved ones in your hearts and minds as they go through the weekend, and hope for a successful result of intended plans coming up this week.
absolutely.
Horny little bastards. It's just one of my biggest quotes on here because I laughed so much. I just laughed and laughed. They are. Stay away, Samantha. Stay away. And then right under that, I wrote, "This show is dirty." Oh my gosh. Mike, the inappropriate flirt. See, we only had 3 days, so it's interesting kind of going through my notes because we sort of already talked about it all. What am I missing?
So, well, not Nicole.
Nicole?
So Naomi's
Yes.
husband
Yes.
was sitting there in the car with that other gentleman watching
Yes.
Joey Armstrong.
Yes. They were. Oh, yes. So,
I got a stakeout.
Jacob the cop and his partner, which I can't recall the name of right now, and I didn't write it down this week. Maybe it's on my previous page.
A way older gentleman.
Yeah, he's more seasoned, more veteran. I've been around the block so many times. I know when somebody's actually doing a crime.
I'm the best cop in the world.
I'm the best cop in the world, and I'm also on the take. I don't know. Is it
He
last
probably
week?
is on the take with Joey.
Maybe I'm watching Joey, and we're gonna ignore what Joey's doing right now.
Right, because Jacob said we just saw him hand over a bunch of cash.
Yeah. Oh yes, he did. And see, they gotta just arrest that man.
And the partner was like, "Oh, well, with that we don't have enough evidence," or a bunch of excuses, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you're right. I didn't think about that when I was watching it. I do think that partner of Jacob's is on the take.
Yeah, I think he's up to something. He's up to something. I think that I think it was everything on the show is very purposeful, so I'm just going to continue to use that phrasing. I think it was really purposeful to show Jacob not react to the gun at the wedding, and then afterward have him go, "Man, I should have done that," because he's been faced with something in which he should have taken action but didn't. And now he's being partnered with this dude who was probably maybe a little more in line or on the take. He's a dirty cop in some way.
Cop.
And now he's going to be faced with that again. I need to take action or I'm not going to take action. So I think that gun thing was just to kind of set up a continued, am I a good cop or am I a bad cop? Do I support my family or do I arrest my family? Do I support this or do I not support this? Like we've got Jacob in a crossroads of his career. And the most dramatic choice would be for him to fall a little bit, get caught up in something that he shouldn't be, and then ultimately have to turn that on its head or get caught for it. If I was writing it, he would get caught up in something and he would realize that it's bad, and then he would turn that into a sting. Like, I've got to admit it to the chief. I got to let him know, hey, this is going on with Dixon, I guess is the name. That's what the chat just said.
I didn't pay attention to what the dude's name was, really.
Yeah,
And I was trying to watch real fast, too, where I
should have
would
wrote
know
it down.
about now.
But yeah, he's doing something. He's got to tell the chief, oh, hey, Dixon's up to this thing. And he's like, all right, this is the plan. He chomps on a cigar or something. I don't know. Sandra says, yes, Mama Cat on the take. On the take.
On the take.
On the take. What about Cat and Tomas? Well, I don't see a strong future for the two of them. But it's sure going to be hot.
I don't see a big future with the two of them either.
I think Tomas is going to be the problem.
You think so?
I think Tomas is going to engage with the attention of both Eva and Kat as they try to vie for his affections as he just plays the field.
Like, okay, yeah.
I don't want to call it a love triangle because I don't think Tomas necessarily is going to be invested in who he winds up with. But it's just going to be a fun little game that they all play together.
All I know is I hope Kat don't give him the V card.
She might. It's entirely possible that we found this out about her to have her just flippantly give it away, and then now we're regretting I kept it for so long and just handed it to this jerk. Because these are real things, and it's a soap story that it has been approached. Of course, we've had these stories before, but not with somebody where you don't see them on the screen and go, well, of course, without trying to be too rude about it, but you know what I
Right.
mean.
Yeah.
So, so, yeah, I don't know. I'm sitting here spinning and speculating where I would take it because we have no previous momentum or suggestions of how they do these things or what these characters have chosen in the past. We don't have any of those specific details. So it's a lot of fun to sit here and spin. If I was doing this, what would I do with this character?
Right.
And it's just been super fun for me. I don't know if anybody else has a lot of fun doing that or any fun listening to me talk about doing that, but it is what I do when I watch this show.
Yep.
Rochelle agrees with me about Tomas, so I guess I must be saying something that people think.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. And then the whole Eva thing, she's just flirting with Tomas to get a cat. I don't think that she's necessarily invested in the guy. I think that she was just...
I thought she was just effing with Kat. Loves it.
yeah. I think that Kat has earned that from her right away. And we do need to remember that while Leslie is out of her gourd and nuts, and we're seeing her at a particular level of nuts that she probably hadn't been for most of Eva's life.
Oh, I don't think so either. I think there was a genuine closeness between the two of them.
And
Yeah,
Leslie started to
a lot
get...
of love.
and then Leslie started to get really into the idea of getting back at Ted, and it's really kind of pulled her away. And maybe is the mental illness, and she didn't have one before. I don't know, but regardless, Eva is old enough to by now know that her mom was nuts. If her mom had been living a nuts life up to this point,
Oh, sure.
so that shows me that Leslie hasn't been living a nuts life up to this point.
No. Sounds like she's got completely obsessed now.
She's fallen
Somewhat.
totally into obsession, yeah. But she's still the same woman, ultimately, and she's still the person that raised Eva. So to see her be able to kind of be like, well, screw it, I'm just going to flirt with this dude and try to pull him away from Kat, is believable family dynamic, something that she might be emulating from somebody she looked up to as a kid.
And Eva is falling in love with the Dupree family, and it's really realizing on her own, Mom's seeing this skewed,
Yeah.
but her disdain for her little sister is real.
Very much so. And then there's still going to be, we're still young. We're still fresh into this story. We're not going to get the pop off for another several weeks. I don't expect it to pop off at the party. It's going to be stopped, and then we're going to push, and Leslie's going to say, I need you to understand they're lying to you, Eva. They're not like this. You're just seeing them pretend. All of that sort of stuff to kind of pull Eva back to her side, for her to do something. It's going to be a big push and pull something until the big revelation.
And I think the comment what you said about pretending, I think that's true to a certain degree, that they really are somewhat pretending. They are very concerned about what people think at the country club.
Well, let's see. How many characters?
Too at this happy little trio table or family table.
Yes, we have to keep in mind that scenes shot in the country club are through the lens of also trying to make sure that the public doesn't really know what's going on. So there could be a skewing in there, a coded language, all sorts of different things that they're utilizing in that scene, in that setting, to kind of destabilize what it is that the audience might be thinking, and that's a fun place to play around in. I know I'm super artsy this week.
Of course, Vernon, he does make things just go away.
He does. And how? Murder. So we have all that, but
patriarch though, isn't he? The way he talks to everybody.
Yeah.
Such a patriarch.
he's wise and he's in control, and you're going to listen and respect me.
Exactly. And he gets his way most of the time.
But all of that talk about the country club leading up to my question: how much of Ted and his family have we seen in their house? Has it been a lot? I'm not paying too much attention to what set they're on when these scenes are happening. I got to be honest.
I don't think we have seen a whole lot of Nicole and Ted's house.
So with that in mind, if there is an element of pretending that all of these families are doing outside of their home, and the family units that we've seen the most inside of the house has been Dani and Vernon and Anita, to kind of see who they really are outside, beyond the gates of this community. This is who they are. We really haven't seen what Ted and Nicole?
Yeah. Ted and Nicole.
Ted and Nicole are like.
Bill and Dani.
Ted and Nicole are like beyond their gates. So maybe there is a whole element that we haven't seen yet of them. And maybe this whole element is that they really have been a perfect couple. Tensions, this, that, and the other thing. I don't want to move here. I do want to move here. Oh, we're going to stay here. I don't like your dad. Whatever. I don't like your brother.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, blah, 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 blah. Tensions always exist.
Sure.
But you can still be a really solid couple through all of your tensions. And
But
that might be what they are.
that might be, but to me, if you've been with the same person for a long time, if you're not fighting at all, it's because you're not speaking to one another.
Well, what if you're with somebody who just also thinks like you?
Now you cannot. It just can't be that perfect. But if that's what they want to show us, and that's what I want us to believe, well,
so-
then I jump on the
I
train.
don't know,
Why
like
not?
it's tough because like I know what you're saying. I know what you mean. I know because I have a really great solid relationship. There has never been a blowout ever. But good God, yeah, shut up about the dishes. You know, like I get it, but then like I don't consider me ever having a fight.
Oh,
You
well,
know?
Matt, you're not a big old fighter, sweetheart.
Also, well, maybe because I don't care. You know, maybe that's a thing. You know, because for a lot of stuff, like we should do it this way. It should look like this. That I don't give a crap. I really don't. It must be a dad in me, I guess.
I don't know. It's a pick in the battles kind of thing too.
Yeah, but like, because I don't care what's for dinner. I don't care where we put the bowls. I don't care. I don't care. So a lot of these little things, I don't care what the house is decorated like. I don't care that you didn't take the trash out because I'll just do it. Like I don't care about these things. So maybe that's why I've never had the fight then.
Maybe. I sure can't say that. I've had some big ones.
You know, oh man, you shouldn't have bought that. I did that was your money. Like that was stupid. I'll be fine. So don't do that again. You know, like
Yeah.
I agree, Mama Cat. No couple is perfect, and I don't think Nicole and Ted or Anita. I don't think Nicole and Ted are Anita and Vernon. It's all gonna play out in the next few months.
Absolutely.
We're gonna get two different kinds of couples, but maybe not. Maybe ones that aren't as strong as originally depicted. I still feel as though even if Ted and Nicole are a little more rocky than we've gotten the sense from, I think that Anita and Vernon are gonna be as solid as it gets. They've
think
been
they're
together
gonna be
for too long.
I think they're going to be solid too. I mean, they're depicting them as a couple that has been married nearly 50 years.
Yeah, I think that they're just gonna. They might disagree on a decision, but I really don't see I'm throwing the highball glass against the fireplace. I can't believe you did this, Anita. Like I just don't see that.
I don't either, but I do see that maybe they have some couple of secrets that are their secret. The secret is with both of them
Yes, from each other.
from each other.
Secrets from
Just
each
like,
other.
just like they both know there's something big with Martin.
Right. Well, maybe
No,
they
I
have
think
secrets against
they-
each other, but instead of being like, "Oh man, you kept a secret," it then turns into protection and spin mode.
Yes.
You know, like because I mean, not to liken it to real life too much or anything, but Bill and Hillary are still married, folks. There ain't no reason for that other than they're married. Vince and Linda McMahon are still married, folks, and there ain't no reason for that other than they're still married. Because I guess at a certain point, if you get divorced, you don't got no money no more.
Yeah, maybe.
Anita and Vernon will have a secret from long ago.
I think so too. I think they're going to have a secret that they hold together, not secrets from one another. Secrets that they hold together.
Oh, I see. That nobody even knows. Just
Yeah.
them. Danny's not really
Exactly.
ours.
From like long ago.
We switched out Martin at birth, and that's why he's the way he is.
Oh boy.
I'm really Tyrell's dad. Oh, crap. Oh, what a good time. What a good time. That's it. That's it. There was only 3 episodes. What can I say? We can't shove it to the hour and 20 this time. There's not 20 more minutes of stuff to talk about.
No, because we don't, yeah, we're missing about, 50 minutes of
Yeah, big plot developments and huge things that changed. We
Yep.
we we
When is
we.
March Madness over?
I don't know.
That's not my, because we might have another week or so of not full 5 episodes, maybe.
March Madness. March Madness. When is March Madness over? When is March Madness over? Question mark. It is over. I don't. Oh, here's the schedule. Hang on. I'm clicking it, folks. The website
Okay.
is loading. I'm scrolling. I'm passing the video. There are no dates on here. That doesn't help. Oh, here we go. Oh, it goes all the way through March to the end of it. 18th through the 30th.
Oh shoot, that's only another week though.
Yeah. So I guess the first. Okay. So we must be in the Elite Eight, Final Four area time of things. Oh, April 7th is the championship game in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome.
Okay.
Well, folks, if you're in San Antonio or the vicinity and you love college basketball, March Madness is on, and the championship game is going to be right there in the Alamo Dome, famous for where Shawn Michaels won the WWF Championship from Psycho Sid at the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, so we might have another week or so of not 5 full episodes, but that's okay.
And then also when it comes to sports, a lot of networks share the rights and stuff, so I don't know if it's going to stay on CBS and move around or float around or what. I don't know. Don't come here for the news. Just, watch the show if it's on. And if it's not on, come hang out with us anyway.
And I didn't know. So I come home from my trip and I'm looking at what's on our DVR, and there's only 3 episodes.
And
And
you're
I
like,
thought we have a limited amount of space on our DVR, less than a lot of people do. So I thought, well, shoot, I'll go to Paramount Plus, and if there's 2 more episodes, I'll find them there. No,
nope.
I found that there was 3 episodes.
Yep. But that was hard
And
because
and
you
the
had already
gates
watched 2.5.
the gates decided, powers that be decided not to do a Paramount Plus only. Where a lot of times that will happen, it's not really preempted.
Oh, but we're going to play it at midnight. I think because this was so long planned, it's not like a news interruption where they're like, okay, well, if you missed it, we're putting it for free on CBS.com. And you
Right.
can also watch it on Paramount.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
they didn't decide to go that route.
They didn't go that route. They just knew it was happening, and so they took those days. But it's great. It gives them a chance to slow down a little bit. It gives them a chance to, it gives us a chance too to also catch our breath, think about it a
Yeah.
little bit more, because that's something that we don't have a lot of time with on soaps because they're so rapid, 5 days a week. It's so good to watch. We're really in the flow. We watch a thing, but we don't have as much time to reflect on each episode as we would if it was on once a week.
And we don't know how easy is it for, at this point, so early in the series, we don't know how easy it has been to churn out an episode.
No.
So maybe a couple of days of a little help with that.
Yeah. Oh gosh, we got 2 extra days to edit down 3 more episodes. Thank God. That puts us 3
Exactly.
more days ahead than we were.
Exactly.
And-
I bet you that's it.
Well, thanks for coming, Rochelle. And Rochelle also reminds us that they do play these episodes on BET as well. So if you were to ever miss it on CBS, you can wait 2 weeks and then watch it on BET and get what you missed. And then there we go. And that leans into what I was talking about earlier when it comes to finding out whatever the revelations are that we're going towards. Than somebody who's watching the repeats on BET because they're really enjoying it. I watch Star Trek twice a week, folks. I watched it live on Wednesdays and then I watched it again on Sunday because I'm a nerd. So people will do that. I am living proof that people will do that. So there's definitely people who are going to be watching Beyond the Gates on CBS and then revisiting it on BET. And those people are going to be in for a treat as they pick up all the little foreshadows and the hints and all that stuff that they laid down along the way. Good times. Well, folks, Derek, the security guard, found us. He's got 2 jobs. He's fireman and he's also security. And he needs us to leave for a couple of reasons. 1, we snuck in, and 2, we're blocking the fire exits with our cars. So we gotta go.
We got to go.
We gotta go before we get thrown in the hoosgow.
Exactly.
But the bottles of champagne with the ribbons on it are absolutely free. So go ahead and grab that on your way out, and in 50 years, go ahead and pop it open.
And they haven't been tainted by that guy on that other show.
No, yeah, no, we're fine. We're far away. We're in Washington D.C. That's a couple of states away
A couple of states away.
from New York, so we're all right. Hey, folks, like the video if you had a good time. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy soap operas and like watching a mother and son talk about it, or if you like participating in the chat. Subscribe and then hit the notification icon so you know, boom, every time we log on, you'll get a notification on your
Every
phone.
time we come on.
If you're sitting on your desktop, you'll get a little notification on your desktop. All sorts of different fun notifications so long as you have them turned on. So turn those on. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, continue to watch Beyond the Gates, continue to watch Days of Our Lives, continue to watch General Hospital. You can skip Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful because we don't podcast about those. Yeah, watch those anyway. Bold's only half an hour long, and, you know, there's like 4 cast members, so it's really easy to just follow along because they ain't got no characters. So, that's it. That's it.
That would be it.
Oh gosh, support your local soap channels. I don't know what else there is to say. Don't let the gate hit you on the butt on the way out. I've been Matt,
I've been Kat.
and we'll see you next week. Live 9 a.m. Days of Our Lives, 11 a.m. 10th Floor Podcast, General Hospital, and 1:30 Beyond the Gates. Goodbye.
We're going to unlock them again.
Unlock them again. We're going to sneak on in. They're going to lock them right behind us, and hopefully it doesn't